Hello, Accounting 1. All right, we're in Chapter 7 now, 7-1, Work Together. And the book, you're going to find this around 196, 197. And we're going to be making an income statement. The neat thing about this is that we've already done the work. We've already figured out what should go on here by doing the worksheet. And Chapter 6 was us doing the worksheet. So I'm on page 197 of the book, if you want to follow along there. And the first thing that it asks us to do is prepare the heading of the page. The heading of the page. Well, the heading, the row 1 is always the name of the company. And it is a company, so you have to alphabetize, you have to capitalize. All right, so the second row is always the name of the document that you're making. The third line is the date that this is covering. So right here it says May 31st of the current year, but it tells us that when we get to the year, we're going to do 20 dash. So if you look in your book, all of these income statements, it says for month ended, then in this case it's May 31, comma, 20 dash dash. Now, if at any point you're typing in these and it turns red, the letters turn red, means that you did something wrong. You got to go back and correct it. Make sure that it's all in the black. Okay. Hair care salon, salon, row 1 because of the company name. Row 2, income statement, document that we're making. And row 3 for the month ended May 31st, 2000 or dash dash. Okay. So now we're going to grade our step 1. We've got 3 green checks. That's good. And it says 2 of 2 points. That's good too. So we're going to go to next. The next part says the list of accounts shown here is taken from the worksheet. For each account that appears on the income statement, indicate the section in which it should appear. All right. So if it doesn't appear under revenue and it doesn't appear under expenses, then it's going to be a neither. I want you to remember the classification of accounts that we have. We have assets, liabilities, owner's equity, revenue, and expenses. So what they're asking you here is to color in the dot if it's revenue, color in the dot if it's an expense, and if it's not a revenue or an expense, then put it in neither. So first of all, they're putting it in the same order that they would have on that worksheet. So the worksheet starts with assets. So cash is an asset. We own it, and it has value. Petty cash, same thing. Supplies and prepaid insurance. These 4, we own them, and they have value, so that makes them assets. The next one is accounts payable. Accounts payable is a liability. It is not, notice it's not revenue or expense. Candace Powers is the owner, and this is her capital account, which is owner's equity, and the drawing account is also owner's equity. The income summary we haven't used yet, so it's not revenue and it's not expense. It's neither. Sales is our revenue. Sales is the money that we get when we sell stuff or when this company sold stuff. So that is revenue. Expenses, all these other things down here are all expenses. This is the same order that your chart of accounts is in. Remember, account numbers, all the assets start with 1. All the liabilities start with a 2. Owner's equity starts with a 3. All of your revenue starts with a 4. And all of your expenses start with a 5. So for our income statement, we are taking just the things that were on the income statement columns of the worksheet. And that included the income statement columns of the worksheet included sales and expenses. That's all we're using. So we're going to click grade step 2. And it liked it. It says 2 of 2. So we're going to go to the next step. Step 3. Income statement amounts. All right. So here's your income statement down here. And we have to fill in these boxes. Now, this software that we're using in MindTap makes it easy on you that you can see exactly what you need to fill in. Well, where are we going to get that from? We're going to get it from the worksheet up here. Here's hair care salon worksheet. Here's the income statement columns, debits, credits. That's all that we're going to be using. And look, it's right here. So sales is $5,800. $5,800. Notice that these columns don't say debit credit. They don't say debit credit. The next box we have to fill in is advertising expense. And that was $750. $750. Then we have to figure out what is cash short and over. Up here it was $3. $3. What is our insurance expense? Go up to the worksheet. Here's our insurance expense at $610. $610. We've got to find out what miscellaneous expense is. Follow that over, and it's $167. We look at supplies. Supplies expense is $540. Utilities expense $300. Right there. Now it says one more box that we have to fill in. And it says total expenses. Whenever it says total, that means add them all up. So we got to add up all of the expenses. We've got $750 plus 3 plus 610 plus 167 plus 540 plus 300. I got $2370. Now here's the thing. It's a whole lot easier and cost, I guess, time efficient for me to go ahead and count this a second time to make sure I didn't make a mistake. And it's best if I do this now. Because later on, if I find a mistake in any of this, it will take me hours to go back and find where that mistake is. So it's just a whole lot easier to go through right now and make sure that I'm correct on this number. And it came up the second time as $2,370. So you see that sales, money coming in, was $5,800. And money going out, expenses to run the company, $2,370. This tells you right now, just logically, which number is higher. This number is higher. Sales. This number is greater than the expense number. So that tells you right now that they made an income. They made a profit for this month. They made a profit for this month, and that's good. It doesn't happen every month. So let's go to grade step 3. I'm going to look at that. And we got green checks all the way through. That's good. We got 2 points out of 2 points. Now, if I'm going too fast, you know that you can stop the video and go back. All right, but I'm moving along. Now we're on step 4, calculate net income or loss. So here's our statement. And it says, here's sales, and here's your total expenses we just filled in. So now it wants to know the difference. This is a positive for the business. 8,000 or 5,800 is a positive for the business. That's money that came in. $2,370 is negative. This is what had to be spent. So it's 5,800 minus the 2,370. And I get 3,430. Now, just like before, I'm going to do this math a second time just to make sure while I'm here that I punched the keys right on the calculator and I got the same number again. Now, right here it's asking, is this a net loss or net income? Well, let's look at it logically. The money coming in was more than the money going out. More coming in than going out. So this is a net income. There will be some months where your expenses will be higher than your income. Hopefully you don't have too many of those, but it does happen. All right, so these are the two answers they wanted here for step 4. So I'm going to grade step 4. And they liked them. The computer liked it. Now we're going to the next step. Last step, income statement percentages. Now, for those of you who don't like percentages, I get it. I never liked them either, okay? I finally understood them as an adult. Percentages, to find a percentage, is always division. Always, always, always division. You can take that to the bank. Okay? So this says percent of sales. So when you're going to figure these out, these 3 boxes that they want, you're going to do division. And with each one of these, think of fractions, okay? So percentage of sales, and here's sales. So this would be 5,800 divided by 5,800. And it's asking you what's the percentage. Well, in your computer, it'll come up, or your calculator, it'll come up as 1, but that means that it's 100%. Okay, because you have to move the decimal point over. So all 3 of these, we're going to be doing division, and $5,800 is always in the denominator. Sales is always in your denominator. So if you want to write the fractions, you can. But it's always the second number. So here, total expenses, they want to know what percentage of sales goes to paying off the expenses. So I'm going to put in my calculator 2,370 divided by 5,800. And I got, and they want it to the 10th percent. So I got 40.9. 40.9. Okay, my calculator actually says 40.86, but that 6 makes the 8 round up to a 9. All right. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put this in the numerator, 3,430. And the denominator is going to be 5,800. So in my calculator, I'm putting in 3,430 divided by 5,800. And mine comes up to 59.1. Now, this makes sense because 5,800, if you remember, we added up all of our expenses to get this 2,370, and then we subtracted. We found the difference between these two, and we found this. So 2,370 plus 3,430 adds up to 5,800. 5,800 is our 100%. So you take these two and you add them together, and they should be 100% as well. This is telling a business that 41%, 40.9% of their sales goes to paying their expenses. And they get to keep for profit 59.1% of the money that comes in. And that's just for the month of May, granted. But for the month of May, their profit for the month was 59.1% of their sales. And that's really good. Go to grade final step. I got checks and I got 1 of 1. Okay, so we're done with this. I'm going to click Save and Continue. It comes up to the On Your Own, and now you can do it on your own. Follow my instructions. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye.